Live from an electronics store that still stocks CRT monitors, it's Malignant Bear, featuring me, JD Grospitz. Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. Tonight, finally, we're checking out Songs of Conquest. Obviously, we were going to do this last week, because I mentioned it, that we were going to do it last week. And then Stray came out, and that was much more important. And it also gave us more time to play this off-stream, and I mean us, as in multiple members of the band. It's just going to be me streaming today, if only because turn-based strategy games, multiplayer, are kind of tricky to stream. There's lots of downtime, even if it is just me doing it. There's even more downtime when it's multiple people doing it, and if there's no way to do multiple perspectives, it would just be kind of weird. But several of us have been playing it and enjoying it. We've even played some multiplayer together. It's quite good. Just right off the bat, this game is very good. It harkens back to the before times of Heroes of Might and Magic, specifically 2 and 3, back before Ubisoft had their hands on the franchise, and we won't talk about that. But yeah, this is a very good old school strategy game with RPG elements. And it's different from the original Heroes of Might and Magic games as well. It differentiates itself enough to keep it fresh and interesting. This game is in early access. It does have some issues. None of them are game-breaking or ruinous or in any way. This is incredibly polished for early access. Has tons of features and content already. There's going to be more coming. So I'm excited to show it off on stream. This probably won't be a super long stream, again, because turn-based strategy is a little weird to stream. And especially a game like this where there can be kind of more of a slow burn. So I'm going to showcase some of it and just sort of talk about it as we're playing and try to keep this relatively short. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about here. And it's pretty good. So without any further ado, let me sing you the song of my people. If the music comes on. Where is it? There it is. This game's major issue is that for some reason the sound in the menu is like real loud. I have it turned down super low right now because otherwise it would be peaking. Like, this is what it's set to, and when the music gets kicking up, it's gonna peak into the yellow. Even with these settings, which is a little ridiculous. We are running this with everything maxed out on 1440p, 144 hertz and everything. Gameplay settings, whatever. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. So let's talk about this. We have single player, we have multiplayer, there's a map editor and community maps, which is really cool. So this game already in early access ships with some campaigns. There's only 2 right now, which is totally fine. So you can play as the Barony of Stoutheart. This is the whatever the factions are called. I can't remember what they're called. I'm terrible with names. Always have been. But they're the human faction. They're the knight faction, basically, like you would see in Heroes. And they have, your kind of standard, knights and archers and peasants. And then they also have like forest units, the Fae, which is kind of interesting. So instead of doing the usual Heroes thing where you have like angels and Pegasi as your high-level units, you get forest creatures, and the campaign is all about explaining why that's a thing. And then over here we also have the Rana. These are lizard people and amphibians, and they're very interesting. I'm trying to think what their closest comparable is in the old Heroes games. One second. I did not mute the mic there. My apologies. I slipped on the button. It's one of those days. Excuse me. That's really gross. But just like the lizard people. See, that was totally on purpose. But yeah, I'm trying to think what their comparable would be. It's slipping my mind. There is 2 other factions though. Loth is necromancers. They're necromancers. That's it. And then there's another one, Barya, and they're an interesting mix of kind of humanoid units and like orcs and goblins. And all 4 factions play very differently. and very interestingly, which is kind of cool. We won't do the campaigns. You can see the story bits on your own, whatever. One other issue this game has is there's no random map generator right now. You have to make your own maps with a map editor, or use the ones that are in the skirmish. So we're gonna pop into skirmish and see what that looks like. So there's us that randomly set some players in there for us, some AI players. So the factions is Arleon, that's it. So those are the human knights. Loth is necromancers and, skeletons and things. Barya is humans, and Harama, they call them. And those, like I said, that's the, kind of orcs and goblins and sorts of things like that. They're cool. And then Rana is lizards and swamp dwellers and amphibians and frogs and dragons as well. They're pretty cool. So like I said, one of the big issues right now that the game has is there's no random map generator, so there's only set maps. And there's not that many of them, unfortunately. And by set maps, I mean really set maps. All the placements of items and resources and everything, they're static every single time. It's going to be exactly the same. Which means that multiplayer with other people can be kind of a fight to see who's gonna, figure out what's where, who learned the maps well enough, basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a 4-player map. The smallest 4-player map, and we're going to see all of the different factions at once. So we'll toss all the AI in there. And let's see. Purple for Loth. It'll be orange for Barya, and then, green for Rana. Will be knights, okay. Names don't matter. So there's heroes in this game, just like Heroes of Might and Magic, makes sense. And they're called wielders. And your wielders all have very different kind of passives and different things that they focus on. So you can see here, each faction has, what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Is there 9 total for each faction already? Yeah. Okay, so there's 9 different wielders for each faction. And each one has different starting units, which you can see, different skills, and a different specialization, and different stats as well. So depending on what you want to do, you might want to pick a different wielder. On some maps, you can get more wielders, depending on the map settings and everything, and how many towns you conquer. Towns are done very differently than they are in Heroes of Might and Magic, and we'll see that when we get in. Let's see. We'll do Cecilia. So she's the wielder you get in the campaign. So we'll just do that. We'll just leave them random because it doesn't matter. There's only 2 settings for the AI, easy and normal. Because we're doing a 4-for-all on a very small map, we're going to set them to easy. Get some map settings. Lots of resources, why not? Lots of neutral troop production. Wielder cap will keep the same. Hostile enemies, random things on the map. They will get stronger as the map goes on. We'll set that to slow, again, just to keep this going. No forced battles, and we'll keep random events going. So you can see a little preview of the map here. It doesn't show you a whole lot, but again. And I realize I'm talking fast and explaining lots of things, making comparisons to Heroes of Might and Magic. If only because I assume that if you're interested in this game, you know about and probably played Heroes of Might and Magic. This game is 100% marketed to fans of that series, so my apologies if you don't know what I'm talking about. You should go play Heroes of Might and Magic 3. It's really good. All right, let's jump in. Hopefully. Game runs well, loads pretty fast, as you can see. Hopefully the audio doesn't glitch out. We'll find out. Give it a second. Okay, I think we're good. Sometimes when you load in, the audio will have some issues for whatever reason. The only thing that the model is blocking is the little flags that show the other factions when they're going, and, the little end turn thing. So now that we're in an actual game here, I can turn this back up. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, continue. So here's us. Here's our character. So let's look at our character real quick. Every character has their own little art there. Your portrait as well, of course, and you can see your stats. Or you can go into the character screen here, and you can see your different modifiers, any temporary ones, any equipment ones you might have, and your specialization as well. So you can see offense, that passes on a bonus to all of your characters, or all of your units' offensive stats. Your defense, same thing. Movement is how many things you can go per turn, how many spaces on the overworld. And your view radius is how many spaces you can see. Have some equipment and some skills as well. And then you have your troops. So this is a strategy game where you have... there's like not a lot of resources here. This is weird. Never played this map before. But this is a strategy game where your hero doesn't take part in battle at all. It's all your units. And they fight in a grid-based, kind of turn-based strategy sort of thing. And we'll see that. You can only carry a couple units to begin with, and units have a cap, unlike Heroes of Might and Magic. And this is very important because you can see that all of our units, in addition to all their stats, which, again, pretty much self-explanatory based on what the character had, also has something called Essence. So every turn, every time one of your units gets to do something, you gain the Essence that they offer. And Essence is what lets you cast spells. And that is one of the biggest differences in this game, is the spell system. And we'll see that once we actually get into combat. Some of the other big differences, obviously, is the art style. This is some beautiful pixel art sprite work. Just stunning. All the different factions, all the different units, all the maps, everything look great. Which is awesome. But it's also one of my fears with the game, in that because the pixel art is such high quality, I'm a little worried about them adding more factions and units and things down the road, because I think it's going to take them a while. We'll see how that goes. But another big difference is the towns. Here's our town. If we click on ourselves. We go to the town. You can draft your troops here. Looks kind of standard. But you can't build anything, which is a little weird. So you build things with these little build sites that are all around you here. And let's see, what do we want to build? Let's go with... We need to build... Oh, we have so many resources. Okay. Let's get militia going. So there's 3 types of buildings for every faction. Small, medium, and large. Makes sense. And you have a set number of building placements around your town. And those are determined by the size of your town. So you can see when you first start out, you have a tier 1 town, you only have 2 building slots. You can upgrade it. We can actually do that immediately because we have enough gold too. We can upgrade it a couple times, which is odd. Normally you don't have money to do that. Oh well. So you can see as it upgrades, it's terraforming the land around us. Changing, looking cooler, get more build slots. Yeah, we can still keep going. So you can see here all the different buildings you can build, and you can see what that gets you. So for example, if we want to get militia, one of our basic units, we need a peasant hut, and then that can be upgraded to get upgraded militia. Same thing here for tavern. You have a building that just gives you gold. Quarry gives you stone. Lumber mill gives you wood. Guard tower gives you more units and helps with your garrison if your town gets attacked. And then the rally point lets you get units from other towns. So if you happen to capture a town of another faction, you cannot recruit their units, at least as far as I could tell. I haven't been able to do it. It just turns into your type of town. After a couple turns, it takes a little bit, and the buildings get replaced with your equivalent. So like every faction has their version of the farm, quarry, lumber mill, guard tower, and rally point, and then of course their own, tier 1 units. And then same thing in medium. Here's your tier 2 units. Some other ones. Castle, again, more tier 2 units. And then marketplace, where you can trade resources. So if you don't have something, but you have an excess of gold. And then here's your tier 3 units. So for the humans, it's the Fae, the forest folk, which is kind of cool. And then you have your faction-wide upgrades with these buildings as well. You can only build one building at a time, and different buildings have a different build time as well. So what we want to do here is we're going to start off with that. And there's gold here. We don't really need it. You can recruit another wielder as well, so you can see all the other ones that we missed out on at the front. Or at the front, why did I say it that way? At the start of the game. What do I want? She's pretty good. And so you can see the different bonuses that they have as well. Troop movement could be pretty good. Ranged offense is really strong. We'll stick to just one for now. We don't really need more than one. So let's start moving around. Let's get some rangers. Those will be pretty good for us. So you can see when you stumble upon things in the overworld, sometimes you get choices, sometimes you just get resources. You can capture different things. So for example, we got this mine, and now we're going to get some income every turn. My other actual serious gripe with the game, UI is very small. There doesn't seem to be any way to rescale it. And I know some of this is just, my personal opinion and, getting old and not being able to see as well as I used to. But, yeah, the UI is just a little small. Alright, so we're out of movement on this wielder, at least. So we might as well build another one. Start on that here. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get her. So you can see each one looks very different. They have unique sprites and everything on the overworld. And what do we want to do? So you can see there's a random unit on the map that we would have to fight if we want to get further down there. We're just going to use her to explore around and grab some other crap. Let's see about coming down here. Alright, so once we're done, we can end our turn. You can see obviously the mini-map in the bottom left. The AI is taking their turns underneath our model there. Now we want to build... barracks is probably pretty good. Get going on that immediately. So you can recruit units directly from the little building that you've built. So we could do that here if we wanted to. Or again, you could do it from the castle like we saw before. With your castle, you do not have a garrison unless you build the guard tower. And only big cities like this that can upgrade all the way to tier 5 have enough slots to build one of every building. So if you capture another town in like a larger map, for example, that has multiple towns, you might not be able to do that. So you have to kind of think about that. You can draft troops to be on the defense, which is good. Although offense is the best defense. Alright, so we're going to see our buildings going up there. You can see, again, just really nice, really good sprite work on them. We'll start heading out. Is that going to give me gold? A source of power. So you can see as we're picking up things on the map, it's disappearing. Let's go here. Alright, so we've leveled up. So I mentioned certain wielders, certain heroes, you can only hold a certain number of troops. For most of them, it's 3 to begin with, because you have a skill called Command that sets the number of troops that you can have in your army. And that's really important, again, because it determines how much essence you're getting, and that does the spell casting. So this would be a good one, so we get +2 order essence off the bat. Although having 4 troops would also be good. Let's do that. But it's interesting because, so units have a cap, obviously, so, we have 10 out of 20 rangers. You can split them, so you can make full use of all the spaces you have. And in general, that is a good idea to do, especially for your ranged units. Because each one of these rangers, every time they get to go, each one of these stacks is going to give me those order essences. So you have to balance that so you're getting a constant influx of essence during battle. Let's see. Peasant huts, I don't have any more room, but you do. Oop, you're out of movement? Okay. Send you down here. So certain things on the map you only have to visit once. For example, this mine, that's ours until somebody else comes and claims it. Whereas the tavern here, for example, Cecilia visited it, but Ravenfire can also visit it as well. But the orchard, that's only like once per week. So each round is like one day or whatever, just like Heroes of Might and Magic. And once you go through I think they do it in sets of 5 or 6, I can't remember. It's like the next week, and some of these things you can visit again. So go on down here. Get some of these other random things on the map. Get some loot. And you can see when your heroes meet each other, they can trade units. Let's see, you have a nice bonus to ranged. Give that to Cecilia. Right. So you can also visit the ancient ruins. So again, that's one that's for everybody. And 2 creation essence, that could be good. Road signs give movement, and we want to get some of this wood that's sitting out here. This is a very small map. Let's go on to the next turn, though. So we have here a neutral barracks. Peasant hut as well. 50 peasants already. Oh my god. One of my other complaints with the game is it automatically selects your first wielder at the end or at the start of every turn. Whoever your starting wielder was, they automatically get selected. So for example, I thought I was moving Ravenfire here because she would actually need peasants. So you can see there's neutral buildings around where you can recruit stuff with plenty of gold. I did that on purpose so we would have plenty of resources to test things out and show things. So now we have a full stack of militia. Let's head over here. Go ahead and grab some archers as well. We should... minstrels can be useful, except not. Let's disband them. Get some footmen instead. Send you over here, get this gold. Right, so it looks like we have a little neutral spot in the middle. It's not a town, though, so... start collecting stuff. Oop, out of movement, oh no. So we want to max the number of archers we get. So you can see it's automatically going to max the stacks that we have. And from that, where do we want to go now? Rangers, oh boy. I want to hold off fighting for one more turn just so we can level up. Let's go ahead and do that. And do one more stack of footmen, actually. So you can see when we're close enough to an enemy, you can get a feeling for how many enemies there might be in there. And obviously, based on what you're seeing on the map, that's what you're going to be fighting. So this is an assembly of wolves. It does the same thing that Heroes did, where it gives kind of odd denominations of things. At one point, when I was fighting Konstantin in this multiplayer, he had a thunder of plague rats. They wiped the floor with me. Because that is one of the other issues that this game has. And it's a minor one, admittedly, because balance is a problem in this game, for sure. But it's early access. And that's just tweaking numbers. There's some people that are like dreading it on the discussion boards for this game and things. I think it's fine. Balance can be changed. That's not a big deal. As the army approaches, it becomes clear the hostile troop this is a battle they cannot win. Okay, sometimes when you're good enough, people don't even want to fight you. Which is awesome. I wouldn't want to fight me. Okay, so you can upgrade your buildings, and this is independent of stuff being built. So, you don't have to worry about that. Let's go ahead and do that. So you can see the buildings change. They look a little bit different. Next turn. AI takes pretty quick turns, which is nice. I don't want minstrels. Minstrels are a support unit, and they're good. Definitely useful to have around, but they're not essential by any means. Let's see, get that. Let's do a 4th troop for you, and all of your bonuses is into ranged, so we're gonna go for it. Send you over there. that's finished now, which is awesome. So you can see here, some of your buildings require other buildings to do stuff. So to upgrade the barracks, we need a lumber mill. Makes sense. So let's build one. So that's taking our one building for the turn. And let's see, Cecilia's ready to go again. Leveled up again, too. A 5th troop, why not? So you can see you get various bonuses from things on the map. One other actual complaint I have, I know I raved about the art style, is the art style. It's sometimes hard to see things, like to know what's interactable on the map. You just have to kind of get used to it. There's things that I have absolutely missed because I wasn't sure that they were, you know, something unique that I should be interacting with, as opposed to just like, that looks kind of cool. So for example, signposts. That's an easy one to miss, unless you mouse over it and see that it highlights ever so slightly. It's got a unique item here. This gives plus 10 offense, plus minus 5 defense, but a lot more gold when pillaging. So when we run into the enemy factions, you can pillage their buildings. So if you don't want to attack their city directly, you can capture all the little crap that they have around and destroy it, and then you get some gold from that, and then the building can't do anything. And they have no way to stop you from doing that. Let's see. Yeah, let's upgrade that. Why not? And what else? It's another medium. It's another medium. Or no, that's large. Takes 3 turns, though. That could be costly early on. Let's go with a quarry. Just so we can get some stone coming in. Alright, oh, it's your turn again. Yeah. Right, so you can double tap to move a little faster there, which is good. Save you some time. You've claimed 1 beacon of power. You need 4 to win. Okay. So some maps, your objective is just kill everybody. Other times you get some other ones too. I didn't even notice that there before. I'm learning new things. Let's go over here and capture the lookout tower so we can see a little bit more stuff on the map. Be able to finish that next turn. For right now, let's move a little closer. See if we can fight this battle. Alright, so we have an actual battle here. Finally. 30 minutes in. The crux of the game. So you can see the threat level in what you're probably going to be fighting and where they're probably going to be placed. So every time you start a battle, you get to choose where your units are going to be. And terrain absolutely matters. If your ranged units are higher up, they can shoot further. Makes sense. And there's, you know, low ground and high ground when it comes to attack and defenses for melee units as well. So for example, if I move my footmen up here to this high ground, they will have extra defense against the things on the low ground. Anakin would be pleased. Or displeased, I guess. Yeah. That kind of was his undoing. Let's see. We're going to do dumb thing and stack all of our units in one place. You can withdraw if you want to. Anytime you initiate a battle, you can withdraw. Obviously, if someone initiates on you, you can't. Do a quick battle. And I know what you're thinking, JD, you wanted to show this off. Why would you do that? Every time you do a quick battle, you actually have the option to go back and do the manual. So if you don't like what it auto-rolled you to do, you don't have to save scum. It's just built in, and you can go in and fight the manual battle then. Although I will say that doing this is a little cheesy, because then based on this, we know exactly what we're going to be fighting in the manual battle. So here we are in the battlefield. All of your units have initiative. So as you can see, wolves are pretty quick. They go at the beginning of the game, or at the beginning of the turn, rather. So here's our units. Our wielder, our hero, does not appear in the back like they would in Heroes. Obviously, the random AI does not have one. These are just units that are found in the overworld. But here's our spells. This is where your wielder is super important. So all of your spells have an essence cost, and like I said, that essence is determined by your units. So every time they start their turn, you get the essence that they offer you. So that's why you want to stack your army as much as possible. You want to, you know, if you can hold 4 units, split your units up so that they're taking up 4 spaces. You don't want to make death stacks like you did in Heroes. I mean, you can, and especially late game, you're going to. But early on, split stacks is better because you get more essence, and that gives you more magic. So there's some default spells that everybody has, and then there's other ones, you know, based on the kind of the magic that you're looking at. So for example, you know, if you have Order Essence or Chaos, Destruction, Creation, and Arcana, again, the essence is determined by some by your hero, so these are the ones that we start with, and then other ones provided by your units. This is what we can cast. As your wielder levels up, you can level up the tier of your spells, so you'll get better ones here. But then these default ones, these take different essences. You can see there's combo essences here. And those level up slowly. So like if, for example, like this one takes, what even is that symbol? It's like, what, Destruction and Chaos, I think. So if we were to level up both of those to tier 2, then this particular spell would also be tier 2. You can have a quick bar if you want to do that. Or you can just see what's available over here. Can't zoom in on the screen, which is unfortunate, because again, the gorgeous pixel art and sprite work extends to this as well. You can see some quick stats there, or when you click on something, you can see their complete and detailed information. So you can see all of our stats and everything. Go ahead and attack. Everything can retaliate once per round in melee combat. Well, almost everything. Some things can do more often or less often. Your ranged units have range. You can see the green hexagons is where I can move. The thicker orange lines that's kind of snaking up the screen, that is my effective range. And then the thinner one is sort of my maximum range. So I will do more damage to things in my effective range, and then less to things in my like maximum range, and then none at all to things outside my range. If your ranged units move during their turn, then they automatically do 50% less damage. So you pretty much don't want to move them. Although there's spells to help you with that. Like there's you know, this game's version of Dimension Door, and that doesn't count as movement. So let's go ahead and kill one of these wolves. You can see how much damage we'll do. It's quite a lot, because we have a lot of militia here. Militia are a cheap, just kind of fodder unit. They do a decent amount of damage, but their big thing is that they have to reload. So next round, he's just going to be reloading. Anytime you kill something, or the enemy kills something, you get what's called momentum, and all of your units are a little bit stronger for the rest of the round, which is pretty cool. It means that you can snowball in fights pretty easily, which I know some people dislike, but I think it's a good and interesting feature. It kind of helps encourage you to play smart and, you know, finish your kills. Let's see here. So you can see, because we've gone, you know, some of our units have moved, we've gotten some essence abilities here, some spells. And a lot of these only last for 1 round. So for example, casting Quicken right now would be a total waste because it's the end of the round, as you can see on the bottom of the screen there. See if we can't kill. Yeah, there's bandits. So you can see we automatically attacked there. We get some more abilities. So for example, this one is Quicken. 1 friendly troop gets +5 initiative and +1 movement. Or if I saved up my essence, and you can see this took 4 of 2 different types, all of my troops get that, which is pretty strong. So we're going to do that. So you get a nice spell effect there. And so you can see the bonus there from the high ground as well. So we're reloading. He can't do anything. You can end your turn. Or skip that unit's turn, rather. One other problem that this game has is, so you can see obviously the order based on initiative here. If you skip a unit's turn, it doesn't get to go later. It just skips that unit's turn. Like, that's it for the round. So you can't strategize and like set things up where it's like, oh man, I really want to weaken this guy, and then, you know, I'll wait and have somebody else do something later. Like, no, it's you act now or you don't. Which I'm not a huge fan of. I can understand why they did it, but I think that's one of the balance things that they might need to work on. Alright, let's kill this guy. Get the nice slow-mo anytime you finish a battle there. So we did way better than the auto battle told us we were going to do. Of course, we leveled up. Awesome. More troops. Always more troops. Let's grab that. Oh, out of movement. Right at the edge. What's that? Ooh. Alright, cool stuff. Alright, so the AI again went pretty quick. You get little pop-ups here telling you what's going on. Those things all completed a while ago. We're good on that. Let's get another small building going. Maybe? No, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's build Fey Nobles because they're really strong. We upgrade anything here? We don't really need to. We need Ancient Amber more than we need other resources. Alright. Let's continue down here. Alright, lookout tower so we can see a little bit more stuff around. There's nobody else down here. Alright, so we got that cairn, some riches. Celestial Compass, what does that do? +1 Celestial Ore per turn. Oh boy. We got another beacon. Inching closer to victory. Let's see, let's go up here to Cecilia. She needs to do this, that's right. Uh-oh. There's our first AI. We can see him already because we captured the lookout tower. So we see all of his units, which is not a lot. He would be a very easy target for Cecilia. Let's go wreck him. So you get units per round, again, which makes sense. It's like Heroes, except instead of the week, it's per individual round. Sometimes you'll get random events that'll change that. So, you know, you'll lose units or gain more. Sometimes you'll just get random resources and things, or one of your wielders will get random magic items, which is pretty cool. You can't stockpile these from the buildings themselves. You can draft them into your town, though. So if you want to draft troops, for example, if you just want to be like, yeah, let's hold, you know, all these guys, whatever. Let's get them, and then upgrade them, because we don't need the low units anymore. Once you upgrade your buildings, the lower tier units stop spawning. So anytime you do upgrade, you're in an awkward position where you have to kind of get these last couple guys of the low tier and then upgrade them yourself. And we'll just toss them there so that we have them. And go ahead and end the turn. So watch what the AI does. Runs. The only thing they're good for. Oh, there's another one close by. Right, so speak of the devil, there's a random event. You can turn these on or off if you want to. When you're playing multiplayer with other people, we've confirmed that the random events are exactly the same for everybody. So, you know, we got interest on this turn is the exact same turn that everybody gets interest. If you get an event where you have, you know, less tier 1 units for one turn, everyone's going to have that same event, obviously just tailored to their faction. So, worth pointing out. Obviously, it's turn-based, so, you know, we get to go, and then the other players get to go. Multiplayer with other people has an interesting feature, and they call it experimental for right now. It works really well, called simultaneous turns, where everybody gets to go at the same time. And then what it does is if you run into each other and actually fight, it stops that, and then, you know, whoever's actually fighting fights it out. You cannot see what the other players are doing, of course, because it's a strategy game. You need to strategize. But there is kind of a way around that. Another feature is players can control the AI. So you would have your own faction on the game world, for example. But if you're playing multiplayer and you turn that on, let's say I fight these wolves, and I have, Konstantin is in the game, Konstantin would get to control the wolves and fight me in this random AI battle, which is kind of neat. But again, some possible balance issues, because then you get to see what your opponent is rocking in terms of their army and their wielder and everything a little early. +3 celestial ore and some gloves. Grave robbing's the best. Alright, so let's fight these wolves. Since we talked about it. Now they get to die. So again, just to demonstrate, we'll do the quick battle again, just so you can see. Oh no. 5 footmen. Let's fight it manually. Alright, so because we have more essence based on some of the skills we chose, we just get spells earlier, which is pretty awesome. So let's see. Finish that off. I'm going to move you up there and wait. Some units, especially higher tier units and upgraded units, have skills that they can use, and that'll pop up next to them. And so you can, move and use a skill, or move and attack, whatever you might want to do. You using spells does not count as your unit's turn. That's kind of your own thing. But using a skill does count as their turn. So some units have something called ambush, which is like Overwatch and XCOM, which I know sounds really weird. It's like I just named a bunch of different games. But if you ever played XCOM, Overwatch is a thing where, like, if something gets into your range, your units automatically attack it. And some ranged units have that, which is kind of neat. So for example, you could do that on your rangers here, and if they can't hit anything with their actual ranged attack, they can go into ambush mode, wait until stuff gets close, and then just destroy it anyways. Let's see here. Oh, so close. So we got lucky there, did a little bit of extra damage. And all friendly troops get a whole bunch of stuff. Why, yes. Let's do that. The quick battles, the auto battle kind of thing, as far as we could tell, it seems to just very basically consider, like, stats. It doesn't take into account strategy or map placement, and definitely doesn't account for spells. So this time we only lost 2 footmen. Playing that a little smarter, I probably could have gotten away with losing just the 1 from the wolves early on. Or maybe 0 if I had placed my units a little bit better. So let's get command, just so we can have some more units. Because now we have an open path to the first of the AI. Let's be smart though. Let's, before we tussle with them, let's get an even stronger army. We're not broken enough yet. Soon. It's like that. That looks like something. It's not. This is, though. It will be, when we're not out of movement. Alright, so yeah, all that's good. That's building. Anytime you can see another player on the map, it zooms into them, which is neat. This guy is foolishly pushing towards my base. He's gonna learn today. And so we have some more spaces for units here. 2 of those. Yeah, why not? Whatever. This we apparently have to deal with right now. You can quick battle when you're playing against the AI like this. You do have the option for that. Oh boy. He has 2 Ethra which is like their max tier unit. These are like Saiyan lizards, and they turn into just green dragons when they're maxed out, and they are very strong. It's just out of curiosity, I want to see what the quick battle would give us. Of course, we want to do this manually so we can see the other faction and kill them. That was a terrible first move on their part. There's a little window here to see, what happened. Can't resize it, which is again my issue with the UI in this game. It's small. Can't do anything with it. What's your max range? So you can see here we want to position ourselves so that we can attack him, but not get shot by the other guy. Or he can move up and do that anyway, so why not? So you get more stacks of momentum. You can see if you mouse over your units, what that does. It's not enough to finish this fight. Lizards. So all the factions have obviously comparable like buildings and things, and spells as well. And they're tier 1 units. Every faction has like basic kind of fodder units like we do, but they're all very different as well. You have to think about different strategies and things based on what faction you're playing. More troops, always more troops. So already got that. Haven't got that. Or that. Yeah, might as well. Let's see. It might be worth it to head back and start upgrading my units in this army and then push back. So they're going to be screwed for a little bit because I killed their wielder. Time passes and the strength of hostiles grows. So that means the random units on the map. It's not the AI here, who left their city completely undefended. They'll pay for that. Oh no, we need the other thing. Can we build the other thing? Yes. Alright, let's do that. Draft some troops while we sit around. So yeah, some of your units are like direct attack units. For example, rangers, they just do straight up damage. Whereas minstrels, they can attack, but they're not very strong. But the big thing is that they have an ability that they can use. And it gets stronger when they get upgraded. And then your max tier units, in addition to just being really strong in terms of their stats, also have other abilities, and sometimes those are passive. So for example, the Fey Nobles are going to buff everything around them. They're a little strong. But you can only hold 5 in a stack, so totally balanced. Ancient Amber. Should I go steal that? Trying to think, do I want to go back and upgrade these units as well? I feel like I should. It's not that I need to, it's more so that I want to. We're in no danger of losing. Not even close. Oh, coming back for revenge, huh? Alright. So, let's upgrade everything. Because we have plenty of gold too. Why not? There's no reason not to. Alright, so yeah, all of our units are upgraded. We don't have space for any more, which is fine. Don't need them. So we're still holding that. So some things, when you capture them on the map, you know, they're yours. You can see with your flag on them, which is cool. So if the AI was smart, he would come up and try to take these from me. But he's not, so. The difference between easy AI and normal AI is like massive, and there just isn't a hard setting at all. Easy AI is just completely brain dead. and normal is normal. It's still pretty easy. So yeah, it's a little disappointing that there's no hard setting right now. Should still be easy. We can see some more lizard units too. Right, split that up a little bit. Do that. And yeah, we'll keep you in the middle. Just go for it. Go straight into the manual battle. We don't need to do the quick battle. Alright. So you can see this is their movement range, but obviously then their attack range is going to be one beyond that. And same thing here. So if I move here, because that's right on the edge of his attack range, he can attack me. So I want to avoid that. So we'll just go there instead and end this guy's turn. I wish you could zoom in battle so you could see how cool the sprite work is on these things. But, oh well. Right, oh, I was gonna say this is kind of a waste of ammo, but we can't reach the tremors up there. Yeah, we want to start doing some damage there. And so because it's grid-based, you can make things on the battlefield to block units off if you want to, which is kind of cool. And again, other factions have other spells depending on the essence that they get. So oddly enough, the human faction gets lots of order essence. And then, for example, the creation essence that's popular with the Rana, the lizard people that we're fighting. And then, you know, destruction is popular among the necromancers. And as is chaos, that's a little bit more popular among them. But so yeah, based on that, you know, you can get and see different spells, which is kind of cool. This one, the explosive fungi, when I was playing Konstantin in this, and I was playing Rana and he was playing Loth, the necromancers, I got explosive fungi out every single turn because I had so much essence coming in, and just filled every single map with mines, which was pretty fun. Alright, we're gonna play this safe though. So we're reloading. No reason to rush in anything. And then what we want to do is block him off there. Uh-oh. He used a spell on me. I got bees. But he got dead. It's just super dramatic deaths. I love it. And we got all of the items that he had. Cool. And we leveled up from that, too. Yeah, we'll go with that this time. Let's see. Swap that out. And then gonna talk to Cecilia here. Have a meeting of the minds because I want to give her that item. Offense, defense. View radius. We're gonna swap that actually. Just because she has an item that reduces defense, so it might be good to give her one that benefits defense to kind of help negate that a little bit. Clear out our things here, we don't need them. Because this game is in early access, there's a bug report thing on every single screen, and it is an incredibly detailed bug report interface. You can go through and see common issues. I think I could show this just fine. Yeah, so you can give them feedback anywhere you want to. Anytime you report a bug, it gives you a list of common issues, so you can pick if yours is related to that. Or you can do a full report, and when you do a full report, it has a screen grabber right in it. So if you want to get a screenshot of something that you found that's a bug, you can report that right through the game with the bug report thing. And again, this is on literally every single screen of the game, which is awesome. Haven't had to use it other than one time when we had an issue with the multiplayer connections, and I think that was Steam related and not the game. But worth pointing out. My Fey Grove has been completed. Good. Alright, so what we want to do is upgrade everything. Just hemorrhaging money at this point. It's fine. We don't need it. I mean, we do, but we're good without it. So your max tier units, they cost other resources. Let's see, do we have enough to do things? Might want, let's see, get that and that, and I'm so bad at maths. Let's move all those here. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Put those back here. Okay, so yeah, we probably want some more melee units just in case. We'll just split our archers up. Doesn't matter. You can send a wielder to defend your town if you want to do that. You don't have to. It's you just don't get access to spells if you don't. So, something to keep in mind. Let's see. Glimmerweave is so expensive. Let's do Tavern finally, might as well. And we might as well do this as well. So there's only one more upgrade we can go. Costs most of our gold and pretty much all of our resources, so we'll hold off on this final one. Okay, so yeah, you're good. You've got all of your stuff now. I'm going to send you down here and you're going to start fighting the Rana. And then Cecilia, on the other hand, you are also good to go. I realize my army is a little boring. You know, I only have a couple types of units. And again, because it's the AI, doesn't demand that from me. We don't need to go in the middle yet either. Every map has, you know, different kind of objectives and choke points and things that you might want to think about. Different areas that you're going to be fighting over with other people. He's got a different wielder now. We got some ore. Really, back at it again. You just don't know how to stay down, huh? A very easy fight. All right, well, let's kill you again. It's interesting and worth pointing out that there is one multiplayer map right now that is a single-player map, where you just have an objective to like clear the map in 100 rounds. So if you just want to kind of experiment and check out a faction, that's probably the way to do it, which I think is pretty neat. So, curious what the quick battle says here, because it says it's a very easy fight. How would I lose archers to this? Oh. Oh, he's got a lot of those. Okay. That would explain how I lost archers. He's got some gross things. Some lizard boys. Safely move up there. So you can see my footmen upgraded now have a skill that they can use. So do our peasants, or our sappers they're called now. Give you initiative so you can move up and then start doing some more damage here. So kill that right off the bat, and so you can see they can do the ambush thing that I was talking about before. start weakening some of these other units here. It's kind of an odd play. Save our essence for now. There we go. Because that's what I wanted to do. Still reloading. Take forever. Move them up, though. So thankfully you can move and reload at the same time. Let's kill that. Then that. Finish the fight. Alright. So playing multiplayer with other people obviously is much the same as this, but with the added benefits of you can trash talk each other in between rounds, and that your opponents are much better. Alright, so as we level up, you can see we get higher level skills, of course. Ooh, +5 initiative. That would be pretty good, because some of the human units are a little slow. So, because you cannot get units of the other faction, so even though these are neutral units, and you'd think that you'd be able to, you know, recruit them, you can't. Instead, we just pillage them, get some money coming in. So they came from down here. But yeah, multiplayer runs very well, obviously. No issues with that. Even with the simultaneous thing, we tried a battle where we did both simultaneous turns and controlling AI units. And the only oddity with that is that, like, if I was fighting a random unit and it would pop up and it would be like, hey, Konstantin, you're doing this right now, like, it would just interrupt whatever he was doing, and vice versa. That could get a little bit annoying, but it's such a cool feature that I'm willing to ignore that. And again, for it being an experimental feature on both those things, it worked very well. Alright, let's see here. So now we're going to get to see Barya, the other faction. Or one of the other factions. Loth was down below. We'll be seeing them in a little bit here. Necromancers. So because essence is so important to casting spells and everything, you're incentivized almost to not sit around and try to get doom stacks of units. Instead, you might want to get, you know, just one or two of something and ride out like that, because the difference in having essence or not can be very strong. So I'm going to put you there. Put your defense mode. Put you there. And then put you up there. Some defense mode. Start killing stuff here. Those guys, those like assassin goblin kind of guys, they're really strong. You want to deal with them as quickly as possible. So we might be a little overpowered. Yeah, you killed one. Are you kidding me? You jerk. We killed his goblin bagpipers. The horror. Right, so we got some spoils here. Ooh, he had some nice shoes on. Now I have some nice shoes. And the exact same armor that I already had. That's fine. Right, let's get this stuff first. My ancient amber now. And my gold. So now we have a choice here. Obviously, we can start pillaging their buildings, which is good because then they don't get the benefit from them. Or we can just capture his city. And because we're going to capture it, we don't want to pillage them because then we would have to start the building process over again on all of them. So, something to keep in mind and think about as you're going. Let's see, let's go ahead and build guard tower back here. And where are you at? What are you doing? Alright, so Loth is pushing up from the south. That's interesting. I wonder if they killed Rana. They might have. Should be fine in this fight. Very easy. Okay. So we got a rumble of rats, a command of toxologists, a whisper of cultists, and a command of risen. So I love that they went for it, and they have the just goofy, descriptors of what the enemies are. We'll go with, yeah, it seems fine, whatever. Probably overthinking things. I think we're going to be fine with this regardless. So Plague Rats, Plague Rats are strong. They're real strong right now. They're a tier 1 unit for Loth, and they don't do a lot of damage. They don't have a lot of health. The issue with them is that they breed like crazy, so you get a ton of them every single round. They're dirt cheap, and they get a bonus where anytime they take any damage, they go into berserk mode, and they get extra movement, and they deal more damage, but they get less defense, which doesn't matter because they're just fodder anyways. So unless you can just one-shot a full stack of them, they're going to be real strong and a real pain. So obviously these are the unupgraded ones, but with Plague Rats, they're a little bit stronger than this, and they can just absolutely decimate you. So, they do 1 to 2 damage per unit that's in the stack. So that's why you want to try to have higher stacks of units. Or higher numbers of units within your stacks, I should say. They can stack to 100. So when you get Plague Rats and they do 2 to 4 damage per rat times 100, and that's without any other bonuses or anything, they can get very overwhelming very quickly. Alright, so we should be able to just kill them though. Oh, thank goodness. Alright. So Loth, being necromancers, has units like that. They have these guys, these are their ranged unit. Cultists are their buff unit, sort of like minstrels are for us. And they get zombies. They can't recruit them. Zombies is just what they get if they kill any living units within a battle. They get zombies at the end. Zombies suck. They're very slow, very weak. They're just a straight fodder unit that you just use basically to pad out your army in case you need some extra space. Alright, crap. Couldn't quite reach. Same thing, can't quite reach him. Very easy indeed. So that's it, we've seen all 3 factions now. Or all 4, because we're the 4th. Yes. Ooh. A new hat. So whenever you hit certain levels, you get some stronger powers rather than the usual level up fare. So first battle round, all your troops gain +2 movement. So once per battle, they get +2 movement, or they always, all the time, have +1 damage. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Because we're stacking ranged anyways, we're gonna use this. So you can see this takes both hands, but we get +61 ranged offense. Our archers are going to hit like an absolute truck now. So again, you want to kind of think about what your units are going to have when they go into battle. There's Loth again. Did he destroy the city? I just don't see it. That's weird. Huh. Like, there's clearly a city here because there's buildings. Something's broken. You jerk. Yeah. there's Barya again. Let's deal with... I want to do this. We're going to quick battle this one. Actually, we're going to place our units a little bit better first, and then we'll quick battle this one. Just in the interest of time, because these are all very easy fights, it doesn't really matter. So again, lose nothing. Ooh. Some Oathbound. Loth is interesting because their units are like cheap and plentiful. A lot of their units are very tanky though, so they can be kind of annoying to fight. We'll accept that though. Now we can see it. I don't know why we couldn't before. Unknown threat level. They'd be between 1 and 25 in number. Let's see here. Yeah, this seems fine. We won't even see the quick battle. We'll just go in for the manual. Ooh, he has it upgraded. So he has a ballista. You don't get that by default. You have to have upgrades for that. Right. He's outside my range. Not anymore. Oh, we do have to kill the ballista too. Forgot about that. It's just outside of range. Take some damage doing that. All friendly troops can move a little bit further. Doesn't particularly matter, but... Oh, the dramatic death. We lost one unit. Alright, so anytime you win a siege battle like that, you get to decide the fate of the town. So you can raise all the buildings, you get some loot, then you get the town at the end. You can convert the town to your faction, and it takes a couple turns. And let's see. So yeah, we don't want to occupy it, we want to convert it, we want to get the star stuff. So it takes a couple turns, during which time the enemy has a chance to take it back from us. So. Right, so yeah, we're sitting in there. You can see all the buildings get some scaffolding on them. We're going to turn them into ours instead of these gross lizard structures. So they're going to attack us and try to stop us from doing that. And they will fail. Meanwhile, let's finish what we're doing up here. Take care of this little loose end. Let's see. Dire Dreaths. Tinker. Yeah, we can just quick battle this. We get a hat. And a level up. And more units. Right. Ooh. Okay. Let's see here. Let's try the quick battle here. I'm curious what it'll give us. Lost a lot of knights there. Oh, because he had some high tier units there. Interesting. See if we can do better. I like that he started the battle by destroying some of his defenses. Very good. Lot of damage. A lot of damage there. It didn't move. I'm confused. those could be dangerous. We might want to soften that up a little bit. That'll teach you. Okay, finish that off. Ooh. Got to retaliate first. No ballista this time. Have to kill goblins for that dramatic last kill. And it will be dramatic. Pipe no more. This is very much a, you know, just one more turn kind of game. Like any good strategy game is. That, what? Oh, that was weird. Okay. More units. I was gonna say, normally they go in there immediately. I don't know why they didn't that time. I guess it was because I leveled up. Alright, so we have one more small building. Sure, let's get some more gold coming in. And upgrade that. Start drafting some troops again here. Okay, yeah, we have some more space as well. Just in case somebody happens to come knocking, we might want to have some stuff here. Probably should have done that at some point before this, but oh well. God, that costs so much Glimmerweave. So some of these other resources are a little hard to find. Glimmerweave especially. Every faction seems bound to that. I guess this faction is dead. They have a little skull next to their symbol. Let's see what happens. Yes, they are dead. So they don't even have any heroes roaming around. So the Rana, the lizards, time is against them. They have to get their city back. Pretty soon, they have 4 turns to do it. Or just a city. They might be able to capture the Loth one, who knows. But yeah. Barya, they're totally gone. You can see we're so good at capturing cities that we even terraform the land around it. It's no longer desert. It's lush, verdant forest. See, you're still there. So these are going to be really boring turns while we just convert these cities. Let's start getting more gold. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. We don't have enough stone to do that now, though. Actually have Ancient Amber coming in, so we can upgrade that. Which is nice. Glimmerweave again. Let's do that. Some other crap here. Nope. Alright. Clear these. Try to get through this match quickly here. So again, we're pretty much just going to auto through these next couple turns because we can't do anything. We can't move our wielders out of these cities for the time being. Looks like nobody went for the middle at all, which you would need to do if you wanted to win. You'd have to get those beacons there. Ooh, nope. Spoke too soon. There's Loth. They went for it. Castle's been completed. Very good. Yeah, I might as well upgrade that. There's no reason not to. Draft some more troops just in case. Alright, so Rana should be dead here in a second. You jerk. Oh. Did it crash? No, okay. Oh. It was just freaking out because we eliminated 2 factions instantly. So you can see it's ours now. We now have all of their buildings are our buildings. They built poorly. And they have 2 farms. Foolish. Guard tower. Much better. Alright, they didn't build a barracks at all. That sucks. Okay. So we need to deal with Loth now. Let's ride out. Kill them. Out of movement. What about you? What are you doing down here? So the pool is empty because we just converted the cities. We can't get anything else from them. Let's see, lumber mill, tavern, peasant hut, farm. We might go for a quarry down here. Use more stone, always. So again, you can see it gives you the equivalent of whatever the buildings they had were. So Loth is essentially our only... That was weird. That changed back to blue for a split second on the minimap. I don't know what that was about. Until they've attacked once, Essence Shield gives your troops plus 50% range resistance. Or everybody gets plus 2 HP. That seems maybe a little stronger. I guess these buildings were owned by Barya, and now Barya does not exist. Oh, so there is more than 4 beacons of power. Okay. Shouldn't you be dead by now? On some maps, there are smaller cities that you can capture, like little towns. They can only be upgraded to 2nd tier, and when they have that, they can only build 2 small buildings and 1 medium. So you can basically just use them as like a little source of income and stuff. Which is kind of cool. So let's see what happens when we do this. Wait, you'll win the next turn unless someone stops you. Okay. I don't think they're going to stop me. Just to be sure, though. Let's get our murder on. Oh, we are definitely going to get our murder on now. Even more ranged offense. So he has a boatload of units. It doesn't matter. This is still very easy because we have a whole bunch of stats. I'm curious what the quick battle will give us. We're going to fight this, though, just so we can see a whole bunch of what Rana's units are, because we knock them out pretty quickly. See here, he has his basic lizards and then the upgraded lizards. He's got those drake things again, some shaman, creepy crawlies, and giant frogs. Of course, the essentials. Safe right there? Can't tell. You suck. So because of the height difference here, we can't go up there. We'd have to go up and around. But we'll go there. And, so sometimes it's worth it to kill weaker units like that rather than, start peppering away at the stronger ones. Because of that, he's not going to get essence from them, which makes sense. And then obviously our units can go a little bit earlier on. So you have to think about that. What is this? Oh, GG. The AI is saying GG. There's a little chat window in the game here. So is that who is Hamloy? It's green, so it must be this faction. That's weird. Why would they say GG? I haven't won quite yet. There's still time. Not for much longer, though. Do that. Still reloading. Poisoned. Poisoned again. It's not going to do you a whole lot of good. Make sure we finish that off and that. Some units can cleave, so placement is very important. With the auto battle, we didn't lose anything, so I'm worse than the computer. Shameful. See, a Hamloy was the green AI. So they knew when they were beat. Interesting that they didn't pillage these buildings at all. These neutral buildings that would only benefit Loth. You would have thought. See if Loth makes a push to try to... Okay, they did pillage my buildings. Didn't matter though, we've won. Every time you finish a game, you get a nice statistics window here. You can see things were going pretty evenly until they weren't. Army value, 86,000 gold. As opposed to Loth at their peak was 26. And everybody else never got close to that. So you can see when people lost battles and things, you can see all the different stats, how much gold they had coming in. Loth was actually doing pretty good there for a while. Let's see. Nobody had any Glimmerweave coming in except for a little bit from Loth at one point. But yeah, because you can look at these stats and graphs and things and kind of figure out where you might have gone wrong and try to better your game based on that, which is cool. Let's go back to the main menu there. But yeah, like I said, we're going to keep this relatively short. Because strategy games can be a little bit repetitive, obviously. You know, you're going to see a lot of the same thing. Because a lot of the gameplay is strategizing, you thinking about it, what you're going to do. But I did want to showcase this game and highlight it because I think it is really good, even if, again, strategy games maybe don't transfer as well as I would like to stream. This is an excellent, modern, updated homage to Heroes of Might and Magic 3. Absolutely worth it if you liked those games back when they were still good. And, you know, still being made, so they don't even making them anymore. Shame. Yeah, this game is great in that regard. And even if you don't have that history with that series and those games, there's the music being real loud again. Oh my god. Even if you don't have that history with Heroes of Might and Magic, I think this would still be worth checking out if you're just a fan of strategy games, because they don't make a whole lot of them anymore. And especially in this style. There's plenty of 4Xs, seems like all the time, there's new ones, which is weird. That used to be kind of a niche genre. But in the past couple years, it seems like stuff like this is more niche, and RTS is definitely niche. So if you're just a fan of strategy games, even if you weren't a fan of Heroes of Might and Magic, it might be worth it to pick this up just to support devs that are, you know, doing strategy again. It'd be nice to get more of this. But yeah, as much as I enjoyed it doing this, showing this off, I know this was, you know, kind of a basic dive into it and no challenge at all. It's even more fun playing with other people, of course. You know, there's a multiplayer community, and it has crossplay between Steam and Epic. You can get it on either one, which is good. It works fine. Like I said, the only issue we had was Steam at one point crapped out on us, and then we had some disconnection problems based on that. But you can even save and load games in multiplayer, which is good. So, you know, if you can only play for like an hour one night and then finish the game the next night, you can do that, which is cool. Yeah, it's, like I said, hard not to recommend this. Songs of Conquest. Let me sing you the song of my people. Anyway, I made a noise. I bumped my stream deck. I did not bump my Steam Deck. That's sitting over somewhere else. But yeah, I enjoyed this. And will continue to enjoy it off stream. And whether you were here live or you happen to watch this this VOD later on down the road, can't talk, I hope you enjoyed this too. And until next time, have a good one.